Hey everyone, welcome to Aegis Moto Adventures. Hey, I'm going to kind of do a special edition here. If you remember right, Sherry was riding the Yamaha XT 250 and we went ahead and got her the Honda 300 to give her a little bit more speed, but we kept the Yamaha in the family. My son-in-law Josh has been working on it, and he's done some upgrades to the Yamaha XT 250, and I'm going to have him go through some of the things that he's done. Now, some of the items that we put on the bike for long distance travel are now gone, but he's done some other things that are pretty cool. So I'll let him do the talking here. Hang on. This is Josh, my son-in-law. We're real happy to have him in the family, and he's going to go through and explain to you the things that he's changed here and done on the Yamaha. It doesn't look beautiful. He's got her all cleaned up. The Mississippi mud on the muffler there on the pipe is about the only thing left of what we had of it here. But this is a true thoroughbred. So go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, I'll just start from the top.
Okay.
So I've eliminated the mirrors. I still need to get a mirror for it, but I've also changed the handlebar to a Ricky Carmichael Renthal bar. It's one that I've always preferred.
Okay.
So I just like.
Why do you prefer it?
Just the way it is for my ergonomics. It's much better fit for me.
Does it sit higher? Does it have kind of a higher rake?
It goes a little bit more forward.
Oh, okay.
Than that, it still has the same height to it. It just kind of pushes everything forward a little bit. So
okay.
Kind of has more of that standard bike feel.
Okay.
Whereas the OEM, it would be slightly more back this way.
Gotcha. That makes sense. For somebody that's a little bit taller, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I have much longer arms. I like being further out than like this.
Okay. Perfect.
I mean, along with that, changed out the grips, new grips, and then the main two things I always like to do with a bike is brakes and suspension. So I just went ahead and replaced everything in the front master cylinder and then the rear master cylinder. The one thing I did that upgraded the brakes itself was the steel braided lines, as you can see on the front.
Yeah, let me get around here
way.
so I can oh yeah. Wow, that's fancy. Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, so I don't ever have to really worry about replacing it every
right,
5 years or so.
Right.
Because this bike didn't have that many miles on it, but it's also 5 years old, and with the rubber lines, they say you should replace it every 5 years, and I just wanted to start it fresh. So.
Right, that makes sense.
So
now, did you replace the master cylinder too, or did you just do the braided line?
Just the steel braided line is the only upgrade. Everything else, just the rebuild itself, is just new OEM parts.
Okay.
So not an upgrade, just a rebuild.
Okay.
That's it.
So you put a whole brand new master cylinder on it?
Yeah, all the O-rings, new fluid, the actual plunger itself, all that is new inside.
Nice. So, okay, great. Yeah.
And then if you want to take a look here, here's the rear brake line. Same thing, plunger, O-ring, all that good stuff. That all got rebuilt.
Yeah.
It's just the line itself is the only upgrade. So
that's nice though.
Feels much more stiffer when you go ahead and squeeze or push down on the brakes.
Right, because the braided lines probably don't have as much give in them as
correct. Yeah.
Right.
And then along with the suspension, you can't really see it. Hey, how's it going? Thank you. Along with the suspension, you can't really see it. But one thing I did was I believe the company is called Racetrek. They have a really great suspension upgrades on all bikes. So it's new springs.
Okay.
And just obviously fluid. The only thing that comes along with that upgrade is obviously you can't see it because it's all internal, but there's a spacer about this long. It's just like a metal spacer.
Okay.
So it bottoms out a lot easier. So it just eliminates that spacer. The springs are longer, and it just feels a little bit safer.
Now, did you change the spring rate when you did that? Did you make them heavier, or are they still about the same as what the factory was?
No, they're a little bit heavier.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it does beef up the suspension in the front end there as far as what it can handle for weight and just more off-road trail riding. give it a little bit better, stiffer suspension.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm a much more heavier guy, so I definitely always need to do that when I get a bike. Haven't messed around with the rear suspension just yet. That's probably something I'd be looking to do in the future.
Okay.
But other than that, oh, tires, almost forgot about those. This, when you gave it to us, was a lot knobbier. But since this is probably not going to see as much of dirt, I went ahead and went with a tire that's 70 road and 30 dirt. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you'll probably ride it mostly back and forth to base, maybe, or
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that makes sense. And but you can still trail ride because it still has some tread to it. It's not an all-out street tire.
Yeah. Exactly. I went with the Pirelli Scorpions. They didn't.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those are really reputable tires.
Yeah. They didn't have a lot of options in other tires, but I've always been a big fan of Michelin and then Pirelli's, so I'm glad I was able to find one in Pirelli's.
Good. Okay. Nice.
Yep.
And it looks like you kept the little
I did.
Battery charger thing there.
Yeah, the only thing I had to get was the wall plug for it. So
nice. Okay, great.
But yeah, as much as it sits, that's definitely a must.
Well, that sounds good. Thanks, Josh.
No problem.
We missed something on our initial assessment here. So Josh, tell us about this new headlight you've got going here.
Yeah, so this one is an LED headlight. I wanted to change it from the OEM just because I'm not a huge fan of the amber light that it gives, and this thing at night is way more powerful. So
it's a nice bright light.
Yeah.
And you still have with it, you still have your low and high beam with it, right?
Yes you do, yeah. So I was getting too excited about the suspension and brakes that I kind of overlooked this, but again, along with those two things, safety being an important key.
How tough a job was it to replace that headlight? Was it pretty simple?
Not at all. I think it's called JNS. Yeah, JNS Engineering. They came out with this light. They have it for many models. They make it as simple as possible for just plug and play. So
unbolt the old one, bolt the new one in, and
connect
plug
and
it.
Everything. Yep, I don't have to solder or anything.
Perfect.
So,
Mama and Papa are having lots of fun here, and we're training them early here to be able to ride the motorcycle. He likes beeping the horn. What a fun day we had with the kids and our grandson. It was an absolute blast, and it was a nice day that Josh gave a description of what he's done to the Yamaha XT 250. Mizey's in good hands. He's doing some neat things with it, and I can't wait to see when he finishes it off. That'll be a lot of fun. I hope you like that video with the description. I know that bike is really popular worldwide. Well, tomorrow we get back on the road again, and we've got 2 more days to make it back to Northeast Indiana. So we'll see you tomorrow.